Hey everybody, in this 5-minute tech tip, I'm going to show you how to use a combination of two different tools that are going to help you find blank cells. And that can be really helpful for you when you have a lot of data coming in and you just want to know, like, all right, how many cells are coming in blank? And also, how can we format them to stand out? So if you're collecting a lot of data and you really need to know how many of these things are coming in, like, okay, well, we need to have data here. Where are they and how many do we have? So the first thing I'm going to show you is looking at a formula or a function called COUNTBLANK. All right, so it's a pretty simple one. So I'm going to go over here to count and blank, type that in, hit tab, finish that off, and very simple, we just say, okay, what's the range? So I'm going to highlight everything here. And within this range, how many blank cells do I have? I'm going to hit enter, and lo and behold, I have 14. And we'll watch this change. If I put in another number here, I'll type in 5, this changes to 13. I'm going to get rid of these two, get rid of those, and then that should change. Okay, and the number keeps growing. You can see as I get rid of these. All right, let me just add on one more just for good measure, and you can see that goes down to 17. Now, that's really helpful, so I can see the number, but I'd also like to know, well, which ones are blank. And this can be pretty dizzying after a while. When you're looking at these numbers, you might very easily overlook them. So I'm going to use conditional formatting for this. And in a previous video, I've done some lessons on how to work with conditional formatting. So you can check that out. And that's mostly with like numbers, right? Or you might want to do it for text. Basically saying based on a certain condition, meaning like show me everybody that's like over 50,000 in their salary, just make that look a little bit different, right? That's the formatting part of things. So based on a certain condition, let's format it in a certain way. You might want to have the background look a little different, make it bold, put a border around it, something like that. So how do I do that? You're going to see here is this icon for conditional formatting. And the first thing we want to do is just highlight the area that we want to find that condition and then format it. And what we're going to do is click on this drop down, and I'm going to say new rule. In the previous video, I went to highlight cells rules, and we can see we have some nice preset things like greater than or less than, or maybe text that's equal to, or date that's occurring, or even for duplicate values. You have all these top bottom rules, right? Top 10% or 50% or average, things like that. It does it for you. We also did a whole lesson on icon sets, which are really nice because they're visual and they're eye-catching and they really kind of tell the story in a nice way. So check out my previous video on that. What we're going to do now is go a little bit deeper to find the blank cells. So I'm going to say new rule, and what I'm going to do is say here format only cells that contain, and you can see here format only cells with, I'm going to say blanks. Very simple, but it's kind of hiding in there, right? So I just want to show you where that is. And very simply, just like it's going to find everything that's blank. And I'm going to say, well, what is the format going to be? So here's my condition that they're blank. And then here is my format. So I'm just going to make them all come in with a fill of red so they really stand out. Click OK. Click OK again. And voila, there you go. Now, this is a living organism, meaning that if I were to change this to add in some numbers here, I'll just put a number 1 in there, that's going to lose its formatting. And also notice that this number then changes as well. Let me add on a few more. All right, that goes down to 15. This color red changes. All right, and let me go ahead and do likewise, where I'm going to delete this, and then see that it turned to red. So I can really, really easily find this. Now, in a future video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a macro on this, because if this is something that you're doing pretty regularly, you might want to automate this process. If this is something you just want to make it found very quickly and easily, we can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a lesson on that in the future, so check that out. So that is both the COUNTBLANK function as well as using conditional formatting to find blank cells. Okay, so that's your 5-minute tech tip for the day. If you have any questions or requests, you can find me on my YouTube channel through LinkedIn. You can also find me at sftechtraining.com. You can send me an email through there, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.